Well, this is Harlan Gerger with CEO Solutions, and we're again working on our CEO behaviors, the 10 behaviors that we probably should be avoiding as a CEO. And we've talked about the seagull, we've talked about the idea of strategy, but number 3 here is about the idea of avoidance. And that big avoidance of conflict, that seems to be one of the big issues. So many times we work with CEOs, and especially more emerging CEOs, that they avoid the conflict. And even senior CEOs I've seen that just have not developed the capability or the ability to deal with conflict effectively. And why is this? And what kind of results does this bring? Well, for one thing, there's a lot of indecision. Second, we see the same thing happening throughout the organization because, again, people are looking to the CEO for leadership, for modeling of this is how we behave. And when they see somebody that's always avoiding conflict or not being able to deal with conflict very effectively, they say, well, that's the way the chief does it, that's the way we'll do it. And so the whole organization kind of takes on that behavior. And just think about not having any conflict, not having any issues faced, and everything kind of gets swept up through the door or kicked down the road, so to speak. If that's happening in your organization, then I would strongly suggest you really look at how are you dealing with conflict as an individual CEO and also as an organization. Now, why do we avoid conflict? There's hundreds of reasons. But why should we attack conflict, or why should we be maybe looking forward to conflict? Well, the thing is that if we reframe what we think conflict is into more of a different operation, we can say, I've got a minor adjustment here over with this person, but I see that as conflict. Well, am I cheating that person now out of their growth? Am I cheating that person out of the capability of being even better or the opportunity to be better? And that's oftentimes what happens. So let's reframe conflict into the idea that there's an opportunity here. We can solve a problem. We can get down to a root cause. We can make the organization function better and faster and higher. And why do we allow our own personal fear, personal feelings, or own personal tension to compromise the growth and development of others? I think that's theft. Maybe you don't, but I think that's theft. And so when we avoid conflict, what are we taking away from both our people and from ourselves? So the biggest thing that I've seen is, first of all, we need to identify why we avoid conflict. I suggest very much to many of my CEO clients, write down how you're feeling. Conflict is coming up. You have to terminate somebody. You have to deal with a tough issue. You can feel that the conflict is there. Start writing. How do I feel? What do I look like? What's causing me to have this tension? What is my avoidance from? Why am I avoiding things? And pretty quick you can start getting down in black and white what the real emotional situation is. Well, now you can start coming up with strategies to say, how do I overcome that? How do I work with it? Now, maybe you bring other people into it to help you work through this. Maybe you go into that conflict with other resources. Maybe you prepare better. But the thing is that avoidance of conflict is extremely costly in both dollars, but also in human potential. The potential of our team is suffered by that. So when you're thinking about conflict, stop and really think, why do I avoid it? How can I reframe it so that it's more about growth or problem solving or moving the organization ahead? And this may very well help you to deal with conflict in a better way. We've helped a lot of CEOs through this issue and this process. So feel free to reach out. Again, Harlan Gerger, CEO Solutions, helping you to make a more profitable, growth-oriented company.